Hi, Amni and Ida. How are you today, ladies?
Hi Zety, you're doing great. How about you?
Hi.
I'm doing well too, thank you.
Okay. Since our Bahasa Melayu test is just around the corner, I would like to discuss with you guys. I would like to discuss. I would like to discuss with you all about the class earlier. First of all, let's talk about the history of Malay language. As, as everyone know, the Malay language, as everyone know, As everyone know, the history of Malay language can be divided into three periods, which are Old Malay, Classical Malay, and Modern Malay. Throughout this period, Malay language uh, was heavily influenced by other languages such as Arabic, Mandarin, English, and Sanskrit due to colonization and migration. So, who would like to explain more about this topic?
Me, the ancient Malays, known as Proto-Malay, migrated to the migrated to the Malaysian archipelago from 2500 to 1500 before censoring. Their descendants, called Malays, later settled in present-day Malaysia and Indonesia, resulting to the development of Old Malay, and it was influenced by Indian cultures, also the Srivijaya language, due to the Srivijaya regime, which ruled the Malacca Sultanate from 1402 to 1511.
I have also read somewhere that the Malay language is capable of being a lingua franca language. In the heyday of the Malacca Malay Sultanate, Malay language was spoken by all traders from Arabia, China, India, and Europe. At that time, Malay was considered the language of unity and the language of international communication.
Wow, it is so amazing just to imagine that our language was once known as the lingua franca. We already know that the classical Malay phase started in the 14th century after the downfall of the previous empire, the Srivijaya. The region then was taken over by the Islamic rulers. Uh, the region then was taken over by Islamic rules and values. Thus, the Malay language was evolved around Arabic and Persian language. Eh, Thus, the Malay language was evolved around Arabic and Persian culture. However, since most of the Malay people decided to embrace the new faith of Islam as proof of loyalty to their ruler, Paramaswara, they found difficulties in using Palava and Kawi language to express their new faith. As everyone know, as Muslim, uh, we depend on the Holy Quran and Hadith as the guidance in our life. And the method is there are certain pronunciation in Arabic that was not found in Kawi and Palava language. Thus, they created the Jawi script that was based on Arabic alphabet and language. This era also saw a growing interest among foreigners to learn Bahasa Melayu for various purposes, such as diplomatic purposes, such as trade purpose, diplomatic mission, and dakwah activities. As a busy port city with a population of over 200,000 people, Malacca became Malacca became the place where the greatest diversity of culture collided, where the greatest diversity of language and cultures collided in the Southeast Asia at that time. No wonder there were many. There were no wonder there were many books in the form of word lists and dictionaries were written.
Amazing. What are some examples of artifacts that were found during the classical Malay phase?
The others is a list of Chinese Malay word lists compiled during the heyday of Malacca Sultanate. In the 16th century, this word list was believed to still be in use in China. Then, in 1522, the first European Malay word list was then in 1522, the first European Malay word list compiled by the European explorer Antonio Pigafetta during his world trip expedition with Magellan's. There are also some stone There were also some inscribed stones that were found, such as Minya Tujuh inscribed stone and Terengganu inscribed stone.
Also, did both of you know that in 1959, the Malay language also received the status of national language in Brunei, although it only ceased to become a British protectorate in 1984. When Singapore separated from Malaysia in 1965, Malay became the national language of the new republic and one of the four official languages. The emergence of these newly independent states paved the way for a broader and widespread use of Malay in government administration and education. Uh, Colleges and universities with Malay as the primary medium of instruction were introduced and bloomed as the prominent centers for research and production of new intellectual writings in Malay.
Okay. That is such interesting information, lady. Oh, I want to share with you both about the difference between Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Malaysia. A lot of people thought those two are the same, but actually they are wrong. Technically, Malay and Malaysian refer to the same language. However, there is a clear distinction between the two. In general, Malay language refers to the language spoken by the Malay people. It's their native tongue. Since since it is the official standardized language, some may regard it as the textbook Malay. The Malaysian language, or Bahasa Malaysia, is essentially is as The Malaysian language or Bahasa Malaysia is essentially the language identical to Malay. However, as it evolves and through daily use and trend, it may include some Malay slang words, vocabulary, and includes in unique to Malaysia. Then again, if you go back to the history of Malay language, those two terms ultimately refer to the same thing. Next, I also want to share with you both about the Bahasa Melayu writing system. Malay is mainly written in the Latin script, Rumi in Brunei, Malaysia, and Singapore, while an an Arabic script called Jawi also exists. Rumi is official in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, and both scripts are used in Brunei. Jawi is taught in religious. Jawi is taught in religious schools for Muslim students in Malaysia. In Malaysia, there are efforts to keep Jawi alive, and students can use it in exams, but Rumi is more commonly used overall. Historically, Malay was written in various scripts like Pallava and Kawi before Jawi became popular during the Malacca Sultanate. From the 17th century, Rumi began to replace Jawi due to the Dutch and British influence.
By the way, have you all seen the TikTok videos that I shared in the group yesterday? Oh my gosh, it was so impressive, right?
Yes, I've watched it 3 times in a row because I was so amazed by her perfect intonation and pronunciation. Being able to give a speech that well at that age, she really blew my mind.
Exactly. It blew my mind too. Seeing the international students participate in the speech competition held by the Institute of Language and Literature, it's just something that I could not imagine.
I know, right? The topics were very interesting. Factors affecting Bahasa Melayu language skills development.
Yes, I share it because I think it matches our exam's main topic. Even though the competition was held in 2014, I see that it gained a lot of attention nowadays, especially by the youngsters. I also read the comment, and most of them started to show interest in learning Bahasa Melayu seriously. I think this happened because they felt challenged, seeing the international students could use Bahasa Melayu language better than the only that I think this is because they felt challenged to see the international students could use Bahasa Melayu language better than its own people, which is a good start for them if they want to improve, because which is a good influence, which is a good thing to see because this will influence them to improve their Bahasa Melayu language skill. Some of the comments also stated that they felt so proud to see the international student could use Bahasa Melayu language confidently um, and comfortably. That is why I truly believe that one of the factors that is affecting the development in Bahasa Melayu language skill is by holding this kind of competition continuously.
A great point you have, Amni. But for me, I think one of the factors affecting Bahasa Melayu language skills development is the parents themselves. Nowadays, parents tend to interact with their kids in English rather than Malay. Then, when they start school, it becomes difficult for them to communicate with friends because they are not fluent in Malay. So I think regular exposure to Bahasa Melayu through daily interaction, media, and community activities helps in natural language acquisition and practice. For example, parents can buy lots of Malay storybooks to read together with their kids at home. On top of that, community could also help by using the language in local events and functions.
I absolutely agree with your point, Saiyidah. Parents are the parents are the factor that determines their kids' future. As good parents, they should be alert with their kids' growth process. For example, they should have noticed if their kids are having problems in speaking, such as stuttering while talking, or having speech delay problems. This is because if it is not addressed at an early age, especially in the aspect of self-confidence when socializing. One way to help parents should bring their kids undergo speech therapy at an early age to help them deal with this problem. Um, Hence, this will improve their speech skill and boost their confidence too while talking.
That's true, Amni. I've seen lots of TikTok videos nowadays where the children couldn't even speak or understand Malay at all. I feel sorry for them because they cannot understand their own mother tongue due to the attitude of the parents who look down on this matter.
That's right, Saida. Other than that, I think Bahasa Melayu has been pushed aside because we can see that we got exposed to English ever since we were kids. The proof is we always watch English cartoons like Barbie, Ben 10, Mickey Mouse, and the list goes on. Today, children also got exposed more to English nursery rhymes, songs like Cocomelon and Miss Rachel. I think local media can collaborate with professional children psychologists in order to attract more children children's attention to Bahasa Melayu nursery rhyme. By doing this, I believe that the children will practice to speak Bahasa Melayu more fluently.
Exactly, Zeti. We got exposure to English cartoons so much since we were kids. But it is such a relief that uh, we still can use Bahasa Melayu language properly due to the UPSR examination that we had to take during primary school. For me, the examination was the starter that made me take my studies seriously, especially in Malay subject. Um, to make it easy for you all to understand, it is to make it easy for you all to understand. It is the factor that upgraded my Bahasa Melayu language skill. Back in time, I read a lot of Malay storybooks, for both physical and online books to sharpen my communication skill, reading skill, and writing skill. Day by day, I could see progress. I could see my progress, especially in my writing, because I make less grammatical error, and also I also noticed that my reading become faster each day. For example, I could read from one book per day to three books and above per day. So I would say that reading is a very effective way if you want to start learning any language, or if you want to master the language, because when you read, you be exposed to new vocabulary, and you will know on how to create a grammatical sentence in that language.
You are absolutely right, Amni. Reading is a very effective way to start learning a language. I have read many studies that prove that the method is indeed effective. It is because nowadays there are many digital books that can be accessed anywhere. For example, digital reading materials such as Wattpad, Medium, and Webtoon, which are the crazy, which are the craze of today's youth. On top of that, there are many Malaysian artists, writers now, who are able to produce reading materials that can attract children and youngsters to read. Speaking of UPSR, don't you guys miss our UPSR era?
I miss UPSR era so much. I think the Minister of Education should bring back UPSR exam because kids nowadays didn't know how to communicate using Bahasa Melayu correctly at young age. Since of them prefer to use short form on social media and mixed language while speaking or so-called Bahasa Roja. When I was around their age, I read a lot of Malay books at the school library. I will never get tired of reading it because of how entertaining it is. I even read it repeatedly.
As a bookworm myself, I bet I can understand you, Zeti.
On top of that, society also lacks enthusiasm and love for Malay as their mother tongue. They believe that Malay language is too trivial to learn, especially the youngsters.
I couldn't I could not agree more, Saiyidah. Today's younger generations, they no longer learn Bahasa Melayu language art such as Soloka, Gurindam, Pantun, and Pottery. In fact, they seem to be forgotten. There are not many people there are not many younger people who learn Bahasa Melayu properly, let alone to understand and dive deeper into the language, into all in, let alone to understand and dive deeper into all aspects of the language.
Yes, that is why I think that formal education institutions are vital in promoting the use and mastery of Malay language. Educators can enhance curriculum content, focusing more on the correct usage of grammar and vocabulary, and encourage creative writing and critical thinking in the language. Besides, university can also offer specialized programs focusing on the development of Malay language linguistics, literature, and its application in various fields like media and technology.
That is so true, Saiyidah. Next, besides parents, besides parents, teachers also play a key role in helping students improve their Bahasa Melayu skills. At school, they teach us the alphabet and how to write sentences correctly. Remember the speaking test for the SPM exam? It was a memorable experience where we practiced with example essays and memorized techniques to score well. This test is actually a great way for students to enhance their Bahasa Melayu skills because we had to speak on a given topic without a script. What do you think about this test, Amni?
For me, I think it was so challenging at first because I always get nervous speaking in front of people to the point that I would stutter. Fortunately, I had a very amazing Bahasa Melayu language teacher who always helped me to overcome my weakness. Also, I still remember that time I was not interested in learning a language subject because I think they were boring. Um, then my Bahasa Melayu teacher, then my Bahasa Melayu language teacher, she always does something to attract the whole class. For example, she would sing. For example, she would sing Malay music. How I found out that Malay songs are actually entertaining and so calming. Um, she also always tells us stories about her study journey that never failed to amaze me. I learned a lot from her, and uh, I learned a lot from her, and Malay subject has become my favorite subject. Was just a stories. Then she also always tells us to amaze us. I learned a lot from her, and now Malay subject has become my favorite subject in school. Understand?
You are right, nah, you are right, Amni. Even to this day, I still listening to Papa Kukulang song. Papa Kukulang dari kota. Other than that, everyone is using social media these days, right?
Of course, I'm always on my social media like Instagram and X to keep myself updated about the latest news, both from local and international news.
I'm on the same page as you, Amni. We can get lots of news that is not being shown on television these days, especially on X.
Yes, I also love to use my social media every day. I cannot live without my social media. So, engaging with social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and TikTok in Bahasa Melayu can significantly boost language practice and familiarity with modern usage. These platforms are widely used across ages, providing real-time updates and diverse content. For example, content creators like Cikgu Adik and IPG students like us who speak informal Bahasa Melayu offer valuable pronunciation and usage tips through her TikTok videos. Uh, watching such content like can help Watching such content can help learners like us, new student of IPG who is major in Bahasa Melayu, can improve our language skills and gain insight into Bahasa Melayu grammar and usage.
Oh, I know her. I followed her too. He, her understanding, her understanding of the Malay language was her understanding in the Malay language is fantastic. But for me, the issue that always happen. But for me, yes, I know her. I watch her videos too. Her understanding in Malay, her understanding of the Malay language is so amazing. But for me, the issue that often happen right now among Malaysians is student is primary school students fail to master Bahasa Melayu language oral skill. Um, this is very concerning because if the students could not master this skill, it will be tough for them to uh, it will be tough for them to express feeling, uh, carry out activities, and interact with their friends. Uh, this is why some of the kids are having difficulties to make friends when they enter primary school. Over time, they will feel stressed going to school because they do not have friends and and they are not being able to engage with the teacher's instruction in class. For example, I've watched a TikTok video showing this little girl was crying when her mother picked her up from school because she said nobody want to be friends with her because they couldn't understand her. Also, she feels so stressed because she could not understand what the teacher's teaching in front.
I agree with you, Amni. Plus, the use of language in print media and in electronic media nowadays does not meet the standard of correct use of the Malay language. Electronic media especially tend to use short form words in their words. So, I think that television, radio, and online media outlets should produce high quality content in Bahasa Melayu, ranging from news program to entertainment and educational show. This can help increase language usage among younger generations and the general public. Other than that, digital platforms such as social media and websites that offers content in Bahasa Melayu can encourage wider use, particularly among youth. Apps, blogs, and podcasts in the language can enhance digital literacy and engagement.
We are seeing eye to eye, Saidah. In addition, the issue of language pollution is uh, the issue of language pollution omnivores is concerning. For instance, I read an article yesterday about this issue, and there are a lot of signboards and advertisements that have grammatical errors such as perabot or terpakai. These advertisements can confuse readers and contribute to the decline of language skills, especially among school students who are still learning competence since they use both Bahasa Melayu and English words which is wrong. Therefore, taking immediate action to correct mistakes and addressing issues transparently can reduce errors. Moreover, efforts to emphasize the importance of quality control in all forms of communication should be widely disseminated.
Okay. I completely agree with you, Zeti. Um, since the beginning, students have been exposed to a lot of grammatical error to the point that they get used to it and make the same grammatic error again and again. Yeah, to the point that they get used to it and keep making the same mistake over and over again. Okay. Uh, all right, everyone. So, eh, all right, everyone. Moving on. What do you all think Malaysians can do to dignify Bahasa Melayu language? To dignify Bahasa Melayu language.
Among the measures that can be implemented to dignify Bahasa Melayu is to ensure that official affairs of the country, such as correspondence, use Bahasa Melayu. This action should be implemented at every level from government departments, agencies, state governments, local authorities to village development and security committees. This is because it shows that Bahasa Melayu is the official language used in matters involving administrations in this country. There are some government departments and agencies that prefer to use English in communication and also campaign branding and so on. The action seems to set aside the language that originally formed their thoughts and selves. Therefore, every civil servant and anyone who works under the same umbrella of the Malaysian government should use Bahasa Melayu in most matters, especially official matters, as an example to the community to practice it among themselves.
I agree with you, Saida. On the other hand, I think the elimination of vernacular schools can help promote the Malay language. Today, we see the effects of this move, as some Malaysians are having trouble speaking Malay. A nation that has been independent for a long time and home to many cultures does not benefit anything from this situation. How can our children learn to know and respect each other if they cannot communicate with people from the Chinese and Indian communities? Language is important to unite people. Language is important to unite people and should be taught from a young age. In conclusion, to sum up, while unity among ethnic groups is still strong, issues of racism persist. Unifying primary schools could help build even stronger bonds.
Okay. Through Zeti, this issue is currently happening and concerns many parties. For example, according to Tan Sri Dr. Abdul Rahman Arshad, a well-known educational figure in Malaysia, unity will not be achieved if there are still vernacular schools in this country. He also stated that the existence of different educational streams in Malaysia has resulted in many bad habits among, among the students. Hence, authorities concerned should do something to make sure that the students can speak Malay eloquently.
I agree with you, Amni. On the other hand, according to Act 32, which is the National Language Act 1963/67, the government must enforce the act by mandating the use of Malay language in official affairs and on signs or advertisements. Indirectly, Indirectly, the private sector also needs to obey the acts or law related to the use of the Malay language. This matter needs to be taken seriously by all parties because the wrong use of the language causes them to be pres- prosecuted and subsequently fined. Therefore, it is attained that the Malay language will be dignified in our country.
You have you have a point there, Saiyidah. Another important step to elevate the status of the Malay language in our society is to ensure that all official government matters are conducted in Malay. Since independence, Malay has been declared the official language. Uh, Malay has been declared the official language, and public servants should use it in all their daily lives to highlight its importance. Local authorities can also help by making sure that billboards, road signs, and housing names are displayed in Malay. Renaming areas Bangsa South to Kampung Kerinci can help preserve local identity. In short, using Malay for official matters at both the federal and state level is essential for its reason. For its uh, In short, using Malay for official matters at both the federal and state level is essential for its elevation.
Oh, about the boarding, about the signboards that you just taught, Zeti, I saw that a lot when visiting to Kelantan and Terengganu for my holiday. All of the signboards were printed in Bahasa Melayu language with Jawi script on it. Also, referring to what you have said, Zeddy, actually, in terms of Malaysian law, the through the National Language Act 1967, which established the language as established language as the sole official language of our country. This means the effort to highlight Bahasa Melayu language important in our citizens has been made since then by the government. Okay.
I completely agree with you, Amni. Next, I think there is a lot of importance in elevating the Bahasa Melayu language. From my point of view, the Malay language plays an important role in building unity among Malaysians from diverse ethnic and cultural backgrounds. Through the national language, we can foster a spirit of unity and togetherness among the people. Using the same language in daily communication, whether at work, schools, in supermarkets, or during everyday conversations. It also helps cultivate better social relationships and a sense of togetherness and mutual understanding among Malaysians. This contributes to reducing communication gaps and promoting more harmonious relationships between different ethnic groups. How about you, Saiyidah? Do you agree with me?
I agree with you, Zety. Malay, as the national language, plays an important role in uniting all races in this country. The symbolic function of a standard language is the unification function. In this case, the language can act as tool that connects speakers who speak various dialects of the same language and thus unites them into a language community. As a result of this unification, there will be a nation known as the Malaysian nation. The unification of the people of a country rarely happens with only understanding in politics and religion. However, language, which is a tool for feeling thoughts and tool for expressing emotions and opinions and thought, is the best tool for unity. In this regard, the Malay language supports the responsibility for the unity of the Malaysian people.
Absolutely, Saiyidah. I remember a speech from our Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, during his visit to the 15th Malay Language International Speech Competition in 2023. It sounds like this. I want to emphasize clearly that a language is not only the soul of the nation. It is the essence and identity of a country, and it holds a special position. Take up space in the constitution without being put into practice in all areas. This statement this statement made me think that as Malaysians, This statement made me think that it's not only the identity language is an identity for all ethnicity or race. Therefore, therefore, it is therefore it is something very rare if you have been if you have been of decades and have children on this earth. Okay. Therefore, it is very weird and strange if you have lived on the earth for decades and have children on this country. Melayu language fluent. We must bear in mind that our people's attitude uh, reflects our country's image in the eyes of the world. Okay.
That is so true, Amni. We are almost at the end of our discussion. But before we end, I would like to conclude. I would like to conclude our conversation today. To sum up, efforts to elevate the Malay language must be intensified at every level. Everyone should work together to uphold the use of Malay, regardless of ethnicity. If this matter is not addressed, there are concerns that the Malay language may be marginalized and lose its status as the primary and official language of our country.
In conclusion, in a global world that full of in a global world that is embraced by the mainstream, steps to dignify Bahasa Melayu language are important to preserve Malaysia's national identity. As Malaysians with integrity, it's the responsibility of all of us to take care and protect our national language. If not us, who else will make our language as great as the other language in the world, right?
That's true, Amni. We, as the new generation and today's youth, need to take action ourselves. As the future heirs of the country, we must unite to dignify the Malay language in the future. So, everyone should play their role in maintaining the dignity of the Malay language so that it remains our national language and our pride. I think that's all our discussion today. It's a pleasure to have a chat with both of you. Hope to see you again. Bye.
Bye. I wish you all good luck in the upcoming exam.
Thank you, Amni.
Farewell.